Namaste, angels. This is going to be the weekly love reading for the period of the 10th, December 10th through December 16th, 2017. What's going on this week real quick. Today, the day on which I'm doing this reading, I'm doing it early. Today's the 8th, Friday the 8th. And today's the feast day of the Immaculate Conception. So the day that Saints Joaquin and Anne became pregnant with Mary. A lot of energy today. A lot of us up all night. I don't think I slept at all, seriously, because I feel like I fell asleep for a few minutes after having seen like the 111 or maybe the 1111, 1212, 111, 222, 333, 444. I finally laid down at some point then. And then I was back up abruptly and I wasn't even going to check. And then something said, I said to myself, like, look and see if it's, any kind of particular time again. And sure enough, it was 5:55. So that's how my day has continued to be. And I'm still full of energy. I'm getting ready to go to the gym after I finish this video. So I think that's all Mary, she's lit, right? The light bands are lit today, and that's all good. So that's today. Tomorrow, the 9th, Mars enters Scorpio. So Mars, co-ruler of Scorpio, enters that sign. The 12th is another feast day for Mary, Our Lady of Guadalupe. Of course, I talk about all this stuff as usual in the general reading, more detail. The 13th, the first day of Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah, if I forget to say it at the end, to all who celebrate that. And I think that may be it for this week. By the end of the week, the 16th, the last day for which this reading is, we may already be feeling the energy of the new moon that occurs on the 18th. So I'll do later on in the week a moon reading in that regard. And we have our other readings. I did the karmic energies only. For each archetype, masculine only, feminine only, and we have those also to take us through the end of the month. So did I mention all that Scorpio? Venus is in Scorpio. Venus is in Sagittarius, rather. Mars enters Scorpio with Jupiter. Jupiter's already there, right? Jupiter in Scorpio. Venus entered Sagittarius on the 1st. And she stays there all month till Christmas Day, the 25th. Also on the 5th, Chiron in Pisces went direct. So some of us may be feeling alleviated by that. And Mercury is retrograde, although it apparently is not, so bad for everybody. And it's retrograde in Sagittarius also. And the sun is in Sagittarius too. So I just wanted to mention that because you may see a lot of fire. We've been seeing a lot of fire in all the other readings I just mentioned. The weeklies for last week and the masculine and feminine karmic energy only readings. There was a lot of fire. All right. So with that, I'm going to the dice, beginning with yes, sex, and cocktail. Oh, Spirit says, yep, sex. 29, so spiritual partnership also. And no, I guess no to all the other bullshit. Maybe no to the obstacles to the sex and or the spiritual partnership, which would be really cool. Or if you had a yes or no question in your head at that time, no. I'm going to begin doing this sort of randomly. I'm going to begin with Tony Carmine Solano Universal Love Oracle and the energy of abundance. This might be this Venus in Sagittarius, right? Because this is part of the abundance. Moon tree, which of course represents spiritual marriage, sacred marriage, and the sacred marriage between, two beautiful sacred beings, but also the sacred marriage between heaven and earth. So it's like larger than us too. And maybe that's what's bringing about the abundance. Mars, planet of love and aggression, right? Go-getter in Scorpio. That emotional, watery, loving, dedicated sign of death and rebirth and transformation. But also Venus, that planet of love and abundance in all its forms in Sagittarius. So joining, at least for me, like Venus, mother of love, joining her son Cupid, you know, in his energy, in that sign. And then for Mercury to also be there too, which I guess given given the placement in one's chart, you know, may not be all that great. I think Venus and Sagittarius are helping to sort of ease Mercury, at least in my mind, or at least as it relates to divine unions and light beings. So now opening to listening, which could have something to do with Venus as well, and or Mercury, right? Mercury, planet of communication. Yeah, there's a lot of Aquarian energy coming through here. Queen of Swords, communication. And that listening is part of communication. We also may be, I'm feeling this can be a message about clairaudience, like with Ascension. Some of us may be getting increased messages and everything like through sound, maybe music, and you may hear other things. For others of us, we may need to do some meditation having to do with listening. And again, that can be involving any genre of music that you're into, or some people like to listen to Reiki stuff. My preference, I do like music. I listen to music, and I listen to binaural tones, and sometimes I listen to those combined. Like the past couple of weeks, I was into this whole thing with Bob Marley at 432 megahertz. So like whatever you're into. You may want to listen to specifically something that having to do with the heart chakra and or like the tones of God, as they say, and or Venus. You might want to listen to Venus spin. They even have that. Moon tree. And expectancy. So drop the expectations that we have on these relationships and allow them to flow organically, allow them to get moving, right? Sagittarius or fire, it's an energy of movement. Allow them to move. Moon tree. And speaking of fire, here's some in physical body. Some of us may be working on our physical bodies right now. This is a good time to do it. Again, with Mars, this aggression and energy, and we have what it takes to do this. Like I said, I'm going to the gym right after this. Also, this can be about the sex as it relates to, you know, like a couple uniting. Not really in the physical sense, more, you know, emotionally and spiritually. The union of the two bodies, what that means on a spiritual level for those with a soul connection. Moon tree, I'm going to cut. Relationship. I love the way we've started out. So relationship, of course, it can be about your relationships with other people. And if you're not happy with the way those are going, then work on and focus on the relationship with yourself. Wow, the overall energy is, again, moon tree. Maybe, again, because at the end of the week or the beginning of next week, is it Sunday? It's Monday. We have that new moon. Okay, the feminine about herself this week. creativity. This is a very Piscean energy. And again, Chiron just went direct in Pisces the other day. So no more wounded healer. Maybe we're coming up with creative ways to attend to ourselves. Or no more, oh, woe is me. And I can't help myself. I can't hear myself. We're in a new place now. Also, this is Aquarian energy coming through yet again. So I was feeling that before with that listening card and trying to listen myself in that moment as I was also talking to you for, any and all messages that will be coming through in relation to what that could mean. It can also be about the larger picture of this moving out of the age of Pisces and into the age of Aquarius, and what that means for us all as a collective, and the divine feminine taking her sort of rightful place in leadership and co-creating her life and co-creating her sacred union. When I picked this up, the listening card is back. It's right behind it. Yeah, this is designing one's life is what the feminine is working on this week. And again, we saw those of you who saw the reading that I did for the feminine specifically having to do with karmic issues in her life throughout the rest of the month and or year, it is her need, responsibility, job, duty right now, if she's going to remain on this journey on path, to tend to herself. And that does include, being a co-creator, an active participant in her own life and designing her own life. And it does have to do with healing herself and coming up with creative ways of doing it herself, or seeking other mentors. There was a lot about education and mentors and with whom we surround ourselves and different people's vibes, getting away from low vibe energy. That's part of healing oneself. So that's what the feminine is doing. Masculine as it relates to the feminine this week, gateway. So he's sort of like on the same path as her as it relates to designing of the union together. He's seeing like this is we go forth together. This, like, one half is this, one half is me, one half is her, not necessarily in that order. And then we link together here and we've co-created this space and life and path, journey, all of that for, ourselves and one another. So he is in a similar frame of mind, like focused again on the union, listening to messages perhaps from the universe, guidance as to, with the universe as a partner, as to how to design this. What exactly do we want to include here? And how do we want to go about achieving it? Masculine as it relates to himself this week's celebration. So this is about, again, for me, the rebirth, the resurrection. This is that Mars in Scorpio energy because it is the masculine, right? Mars and fire, the king of fire, represents the divine masculine. And again, Mars, the masculine planet of love, here with this Pentecostal dove in celebration mode. So celebrating himself, but celebrating himself having done what? This is like he is reborn and he is starting anew and fresh and better. I just had a flash in my head about like this show that used to come on a million years ago, the $6 Million Man, and how he was better, faster, stronger. That's how it came on. I think the guy's name, it was a million years ago and I was a little girl, but the guy's name was Lee Majors. That's coming to me now, the $6 Million Man. So that's how the divine masculine is coming through this week, this better, stronger, faster. If you thought that I was the shit before, like, where do you get a load of me now? That sort of thing. And I'm getting all that in part because of this very Pentecostal dove for me. And what the Pentecost represents, it is a celebration of the fact that Jesus was risen. And not only Jesus, other saints, quote unquote saints, as it's written in the scriptures, were all risen from the dead. And they were people of a particular vibration. So it wasn't just any old person, right? Again, these were saints, and only people of a particular vibration could even see them. Before Jesus was even crucified, he'd already announced that this is how it was going to be done. And that was why St. Judas had asked him, St. Jude, they dropped the S of the good St. Jude. not to confuse him with the bad Saint Judas. Saint Judas asked him like why he wasn't going to show himself to everybody. And it's about the vibration of surrounding ourselves with people on a path similar to ours, of a vibration similar to ours or higher, from whom we can learn and who we can maybe teach too. You know, it's just about fellowship and then celebrating ourselves having transformed. So bravo to the masculine, about the union as a whole. Golden path. Because again, we're both in a similar frame of mind on this path toward co-creating our lives, toward healing, toward, you know, getting it right this time. We're starting out again. Each day is a day to begin again. Golden path for me is very much like the yellow brick road, right? It's a yellow path. It's like the yellow brick road. At the end of the yellow brick road is the Emerald City, right? If you've ever seen The Wizard of Oz. Well, at the end of this path for me, this yellow path, is the Emerald Ray and Archangel Raphael there to help with our healing. But he's also the archangel that is sort of like the patron and the guardian of the heart chakra. And therefore of like healing love energies and healing unions. And he works very, very closely with Archangel Chamuel, Archangel of unconditional love, not to be confused with Archangel Daniel, who's the Archangel of love and marriage, right? Archangel Chamuel, again, for me, and as told to me by him, is Sagittarius, is Cupid. So you have him and you have Archangel Raphael working together to help us to reach the end of this and this Emerald Ray healing, like that's the ultimate when we get down this path together. And even if we don't get down the path together physically, we get down together because we are both on the going through the gateway. That's the way we've co-created it. We're linked forever as part, again, of this union. Overall, embrace. This is about balance as individuals, because the way that it's written, actually, the way that the author intended it is one person's inner masculine and feminine coming into balance. But similar to this and this, it's individual and, you know, like, and whether or not we're physically together, it's together too. What would the masculine have the feminine to do this week? Love. Just do love, be love, stay in love, right? All of your actions, when you're coming up with the creative ways, all of your actions be based in love. All of your words based in love. If you feel that you are going to say something and it's not going to come out that way lovingly, you want to express something that's not going to be expressed lovingly, then maybe you, if you have a moment, if you're able to catch yourself, you think again as to whether or not you want to do that. If that's really how you want to react. Remember that it's Mercury retrograde and all that kind of stuff too. And just, again, try to stay in love. What is the masculine willing to do himself? This balance, again. Balance and healing. Willing to work on transcending any remaining issues, energies that are bringing him down, low vibes, all that kind of stuff. Because he understands the importance of both his masculine and feminine side being well, and the two of you as a masculine and feminine each being well, counterparts to come together like yin and yang. So that's what he's working on. What would the universe have the two to do? Golden memories. And look at all this fire. So this is like more Sagittarius, more Mars. But what the universe would have us do, if we listen, is leave what of the past is not helpful to us. So like the fear, the regret. Remember, we're reborn, particularly the masculine, right? He is reborn, but we're starting all over too. We're co-creating, we're creating a new way, like we're reinventing ourselves, right? So when you do that, you don't want to take your big heavy bags of crap, of fear, of regret, of resentment, of, you know, the inability to forgive and all that kind of stuff. You don't want to take that with you. So you leave that as a distant memory and you only take with you going forward the golden memories, those things from which you've learned and that have helped to, you know, build you as a person, shape your character, prepare you for what's ahead. That's all you're going to take with you. Your bag is going to be much lighter. And the outcome here, sorrow. But not in terms of sadness. This is in terms of the forgiveness. Because when we heal, when we reinvent ourselves, when we start again and we realize that, you know, what we've been doing wrong and how to fix it, then we seek forgiveness. Then we drop this stuff. We release sorrow. We release sadness. We release fear. We release resentment. We do forgive ourselves and one another. And then that allows us to move forward, again, with much lighter bags. So says the masculine this week. Let's see what the universe says. Beginning with work. And this can be working on ourselves, working on the union. This can be actual work that we're putting in as in labor at our jobs and things in order to help ourselves to manifest abundance, right? We got to put in the work. Prayer absolutely helps, but prayer without works is dead, right? Is what the scriptures say. And opening to true love. So working on that, putting in the effort into our relationships, into those sacred marriages, work again. Boom. Twin flame, right? Putting in the effort into that. Look what's upside down, but wanting to be seen. It's sort of like the opposite, the anti-twin flame, right? The brunette female, this very karmic energy for me. I only like her upside down. So we're going to work on these divine unions, right? Put in the effort. Listen and follow the guidance that, you know, we're led to take. Work again. And mature woman, as opposed to that other one. This can be someone older. It can be of a mature sign, maybe a fixed sign, having to do with Jupiter, connected to Jupiter perhaps, and the abundance, right? And karma. Jupiter, the planet of karma, the ruler of Sagittarius, for me is also connected to the fixed signs. Leo, Scorpio, Taurus, and Aquarius. That can have to do with this mature woman. It can be May, December relationships. Somebody's a little younger than the other. Last week, the mature woman also came through as like somebody's like mom. It was the placement. So we can be putting in work as the mature woman. This could be our energy. We can be putting in work toward the mature woman, a relationship with her. She could be our boss at work. There's a mature woman impactful, and that doesn't necessarily mean age-wise. Work, one more. And children, right? Mature woman could be mom. We could be the children. Work. I'm going to cut. Destiny. Overall energy this week is true love. Divine couple. Recent past. Near future. Masculine's higher self. Blocks to the union. What the feminine can do, the masculine can do. Further advice from the universe for the two and the outcome. Divine couple. Family. I love when we show up as family. So we had that sacred marriage, and now we have a complete union, whatever your family is comprised of. This can be, you know, a couple. It doesn't have to be a male and a female couple. It can be two females, can be two males, you know, whatever one is into. It can be three adults, right? Maybe we're poly or something. This can involve children, but maybe not necessarily a human child, maybe a puppy, a cat that we share together, a bird, whatever the case is, whatever your family dynamic is. This week is union coming together for people, or people feeling connected, that we've created, maybe co-created a family. We're not blood, but we've co-created a family, all of those things. Recent past. Beauty queen. This was feeling good about ourselves, having more confidence, maybe finally willing to go after these relationships, and just, you know, really able to be like feeling more like a go-getter. And maybe that's how some of this energy came about. Even if we're not physically together in this family, how we got to this place of in a more loving place, being love, feeling love, doing love, acting love, speaking love, and just feeling connected, not alone. Although alone was working out well for us too. We were feeling good. The near future. Uh-oh. Gossip. Maybe people talking about what's going on here. You know, that song, let's give them something to talk about. How about love? When I picked up the true love, look who's under it. This one, the karmic one, brunette female. Masculine's higher self, dark male. So this is the representation of the masculine of the light for me in this deck. So I love this. And often it is very true to form. It is, you know, where some of you, we've talked about this, have had like two to choose from. It is the darker complected, actually, of the two. That is your, you know, masculine. It doesn't have to be, though. So don't panic if your masculine is fair. Blocks to the union this week. Venus. I don't think this is a block. I think there again, once again, third week in a row, like there are no blocks. Not the way Venus is feeling from what I can tell this week. Again, being in Sagittarius, that sign of movement, and, you know, it's youthful. It's the youngest of the fire signs. It does represent her son to me, Cupid. So she's feeling good. Well, I guess some of us can be, it's not necessarily the divine feminine, but somebody can be giving cold shoulder is what I just heard. I don't feel it's necessarily the divine feminine. And it's crossing this gossip. So it could be somebody else too. For those of us for whom this is a block, it is more Ice Queen and not Venus. Right? It's just somebody who's giving a cold, and maybe they're an air sign. They don't have to be a direct air sign, but you could be having particularly difficulty with a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Maybe that's doing some talking. And I warned Geminis, my fellow Geminis, in one of the readings I did recently. I said, particularly us, the message is coming to me. If you feel like saying something, and because we just blurt stuff out, and you get that moment, that rare opportunity to actually think about what you're about to say, and you realize it's something that can go unsaid, let it go unsaid. So let's watch this. Be careful about this, particularly air signs, not to be gossiping or like engaging in gossip, not to even be listening to it. Like just avoid if you can. What more can the feminine do this week? Ice King. So this for me is Mars, and this for me this week I would say would be a representation of the divine masculine, but it's also this comes through as like the Emperor in the tarot. It's authoritative. This can be applying directly to the feminine. Be a leader this week as well, and maybe even as it relates to love, you may want to be the initiator of something. As far as signs, other than the fact that yes, Mars and representation of, therefore, like the divine masculine in general for me. Of course, maybe air signs directly involved in whatever scenario the feminine has going on. Maybe she's an air sign or taking on that kind of energy. A fire sign, particularly a Leo, maybe, or particularly an Aries. And even a Scorpio, ruled by Mars. What can the masculine do this week? He's going through the spiritual growth. Healing, learning from those karmic issues that we are aware he is experiencing. This sits here next to the gossip. So this can be one of the things we saw playing out in the masculine only reading through which he was going. And maybe it has caused some sort of stir, but he's like rising above it, right? He's transcending all of this now. taking the good from it, leaving that negative and, you know, the resentment, the sadness, and all that stuff behind. Further advice from the universe, dating, maybe under the full moon. So like use this moon energy and energy of surrender and energy of love with Venus and Sagittarius, or Cupid and Mars in Scorpio, and then Jupiter in our favor too in Scorpio. Even like sort of like despite the Mercury retrograde, where you can use that energy, right, for true love. And the outcome here, fun times, right? Dating leads to fun times. Love, Venus, leads to fun times. Spiritual growth and having risen above and come out of something, you know, like having been reinvented and reborn leads to fun times. Perhaps with the dark male here. Let's take one more, the top one, to see what his 3D self might be up to. Oh, gifts. Maybe he's thinking about Christmas and or Hanukkah for you. Masculine 3D self. Awesome. I'm going to do Doreen Virtue Romance Angels now. And they just showed me very soon, but that's not with what I was beginning. Yep. I'm actually beginning with free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. So this applies to all of us, I'm sure. Yep. And look, this was not supposed to be the next card, but look what else they wanted us to see in connection with this free yourself. Codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. And addictions don't necessarily have to be substance abuse, although they can be. You know, some of us may need to put the bottle down, put down the needle, put down the, you know, I was watching a show last week about meth. I'm not sure why I was watching that, but it may be connected, right? As a matter of fact, one of our divine feminine that's on my Facebook page commented about how her divine masculine did have a problem, you know, with substance abuse. So this can apply to a bunch of us in different ways. For others, it's not going to be substance abuse. It's going to be any person, place, or thing with which or whom you have a toxic dependency and relationship, and the need for it to end. But our next card was going to be, boom, it's the same person, I think. And a lot of times the same scenarios, even where it's substance abuse. You love it, it don't love you, right? Meth doesn't love nobody. Crack doesn't love nobody. Heroin, there's a big problem with that up here. New York, New Jersey. So the mayor of, the governor rather, Chris Christie of Jersey, on a commercial talking about heroin and what a tremendous problem it is in Jersey. This is some of the stuff from which we have to free ourselves. All those karmic issues we've been talking about. It's time to take back control of your life. Pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. So like there's good stuff going on right now, and we should be partaking in that. The fun times, not these things that are, you know, bringing us down and weighing us down. Free yourself is back. And playfulness. Yes, this is what we need to move toward. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. So this can be Sagittarius coming through too, or Gemini or Pisces, or, you know, any sign, but taking on those sort of attributes and traits, Virgo, right, of the youthful, the more youthful of these elements. That will help you to free yourself too. Like you're putting down your heavy baggage. You're just done with it. You're taking back your freedom. Playfulness. One more. They won't go. Okay. Calling in your soulmate. What's this? It's safe for you to love. Go ahead and open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. So this is like the 6 of earth for me. But the other card is calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. Here opposite the playfulness, which again can be Sagittarius and Cupid. That's how you're calling in your soulmate. You hit them with the arrow. I'm going to cut here. And that card is back. It's safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. So I want to replace the incense. Notice that that's out before I lay the cards. I don't even know how this burnt out so quick. I'm using sandalwood. It smells so good. All right. We're back at it. Say for love. And the overall energy is going to be religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. Last week, or in one of the readings, it may have been the Divine Feminine reading, if not the love reading, this card had to do with ascension. Masculine, heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. This card came up as well, I believe, in the masculine reading. And it wasn't just attributed to discussing things with the feminine. It was discussing things with karmic soulmates, not necessarily romantic, you know, people involved in karmic situations with whom he had to discuss. Friends, family members, potential, you know, romantic interests and things of that nature. He is surrounded by worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. And here's the codependency again. It's in his subconscious. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. So this can be connected to potentially someone with whom he has to have a heart-to-heart conversation, or, you know, it can be a place, a thing, an actual substance. Crowning the feminine, soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. Awesome. Surrounded by separation, time apart from your partner is on the horizon. We actually had in this placement right here, justice in the feminine reading, if I remember correctly. And there were some legal issues, in some cases, specifically divorce. It was crossing like the Hierophant or something. You guys, you know, are probably going to want to watch that, but it was in this exact placement where this separation is turning up now. In the feminine subconscious, trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. And crowning, love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. I began and ended on this card with the feminine. It was our advice and it was the starting card. At the root, chemistry. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. This was also advice in the feminine reading, and I laughed because the masculine's advice was like the anti-chemistry. Theirs was unrequited love in their reading. It says there's not enough chemistry. In this one, there's like plenty. It's strong and magnetic. And at the heart of the matter, let go of control issues. Allow this situation to unfold naturally. Let's try this. The next card is upside down, but I'll go to the next one and let's see what else will come out about separation. Stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. So this can be attributed to a karmic partner of yours. Like, even though you're going through this situation, don't give up on love. You can still have a chance. Or, you know, in some cases, I mean, there's a lot of reconciliation and reuniting in all of the readings that I've done recently. So I think for the most part, that's it. It's not separation between the divine partners, but you know, if in somebody's case it is, you're apart, stay optimistic in that case too, because you can manifest the positivity and the abundance in all forms, including love and romantic love, if your thoughts are on a positive note. And it's sitting here next to let go of control issues and like trying to control. Yeah, focusing on like the union and trying to like manipulate it and enforce it and all that kind of stuff is control issues. So you just want to be optimistic, think positive thoughts, and work on you. The next card, I will see what we can get for codependency. Very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. Well, it is here in the masculine subconscious. So it is something potentially that he's thinking about, that he's maybe making a decision about. Do I want to give up this person, place, or thing to which I'm tied? Yeah, it sucks. Doesn't make me happy, but I'm afraid of the unknown. Or, I'm used to this situation or circumstance or relationship or whatever it is. I don't know how this other one's going to be. Maybe I should just stay, at home where I'm comfy, even though, yeah, I'm miserable here. Or when the house is full, when the other people are here, I'm miserable. Roommates, family members, toxic partners and things of that nature. But if he clearly decides what he wants, he can get out of this situation. The next card is also upright. We'll see what else comes out about the control issues. Express your love. So stop trying to like withhold this expression. It's crossing the heart-to-heart conversation, masculine. So, this card can have certainly dual meaning for you. Have conversations with everybody with whom you need to have them, karmic people and the soulmate. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. And the next card is upside down. I wasn't going to use the Angel Tarot, but I think at least the ones we clarified, I want to see if particular characters or anything will show up with the Angel Tarot. Begin with the Knight of Water. Emotional, romantic, enthusiastic, and contemplative is the Knight of Water. He's also a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, or someone taking on those traits or attributes. Somebody that wants to make you a major offer of love, rekindle something with you, start a relationship with you, propose marriage, all that kind of stuff. Falling in love, or wedding proposals, the need to balance emotions, and maybe even an invitation to a social event. And opening to the King of Fire, who is also a Scorpio perhaps, or a fire sign, a Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius, or someone taking on any of those attributes or traits. Could be like the planet Mars himself being represented here by the King of Fire. The King of Fire in the tarot is also the quintessential divine masculine. Focus, focus, focus. Communicate with vision and be a leader. Take advice from someone creative. Here, opposite the Knight of Water, can definitely not only be a Scorpio, but a representation of the planet Mars, because Mars is the masculine planet of love. Knight of Water and the Two of Fire. This is 29, right? We landed on 29 with the dice today. You've come into your own. New partnerships or contracts continue to move forward. So as it relates to the love reading, both the dice and this card, I think, are about the divine unions. That's what 29 means. And opposite the Knight of Water, the Two of Fire, yeah, this is about love. This is about romance. Knight of Water and the Magician. You are ready. You have the resources or the ability to manifest them. Life is magical. The Magician, for me, is a Gemini, or anyone taking on the traits or attributes, and understanding that they have the ability to manifest whatever they need based on their thoughts. Our thoughts become our reality. Opposite the Knight of Water, we could be manifesting romantic partnership or something else that is going to make us very emotionally happy. Knight of Water. I'll do one more. And it's the Four of Earth. This might be connected to today. There was a Virgo moon today. like all about these practicality and foundations and things of that nature. And some of us could be withholding love. Remember what the heart of our matter is. Express your love. That's not necessarily attributed to the masculine. I picked on him because he has the heart-to-heart conversations card, but it's in the center here. We too may need to make a move. It's next to stay optimistic about your love life. Maybe one of the thoughts you're having is that you need to say something. You need to be honest about what it is you're feeling. Okay, the Four of Earth, being too frivolous or too cautious with money, good business decisions, and giving to the less fortunate. Well, it doesn't have to be money. It can absolutely be love, and like withholding love from one another, withholding your emotions, withholding your feelings, and you got to express them. As it relates to codependency, it could be giving too much of yourself to people, places, and things that don't love you back, right? That's unrequited. Or over here, giving and giving and giving to someone or some situation from which you need to separate. Knight of Water. I'm going to cut. And right back at the King of Fire. Overall energy is the Two of Air. Okay, it's going to be about the need to make a decision or the fact that we are awaiting a decision, perhaps. In either case, the root of it is being unable or unwilling to make a decision. A stalemate. Pretending there's no problem. Here atop, stay optimistic about your love life, and separation is the Empress. So this is about the feminine letting go of something that is old, manifesting something new and better for herself into her life, and it is born in the form of the Empress. This very fertile energy that also comes with abundance and the creativity to create new abundance. So maybe like maybe it's attached to that creativity card that came up earlier in the reading. We can figure out new ways to make ourselves abundant, perhaps in the area of love. One of those ways, positive thoughts about that love, optimism. The Empress represents for me the planet and goddess Venus, ruler of Taurus and Libra, esoteric ruler of Gemini. Lavish abundance, give birth to your dreams. Nurture yourself and others. Here on the masculine side, atop, codependency, and very soon it's the Moon. Important psychic insights. So you're supposed to pay attention to your intuition here too. What is it telling you to do with regard to this codependency? Events behind the scenes. There's stuff going on in the universe about which you are unaware. There could be stuff that people over here haven't told you. There could be stuff that the divine feminine hasn't told you. Some people could be intentionally, maliciously even withholding information. That's a possibility. Some, it just didn't come up and they're completely innocent. For whatever reason, you don't know. But what's done in the dark always comes to light, so you will. When will you know? Very soon. Just not yet. In the meantime, pay attention to that intuition. And here at the heart of the matter, atop the express your love, and the let go of control issues is the Three of Air. Great sadness. This made me think about the Mary card right away, because it's about being honest and forgiveness and, the heart-to-heart conversations. We're unloading and telling the truth finally. That has to do with this moon too. In some cases, this moon is stuff that the divine masculine does know that other people don't. He's the one that has to be forthcoming about something, maybe about this codependency. The feminine's being guided to trust. Okay? Three of Air. But we put these things out on the table. We acknowledge them. We deal with them. the truth always hurts far less than any lie. And it's like, you know, one and done with the truth. Lies continue to injure over and over and over again. So we express our forgiveness toward ourselves first. Love yourself first. Forgive yourself first as well. And then toward others, to whomever it applies. And then we move on from there. A fresh start. We are the Empress, right? Giving birth to something brand new. This is also, again, as it relates to the feminine, letting go of somebody also, separation from somebody, something having to do with love. This could be you, right? You're a mother. You're letting go of your child or the parent. You're having a situation with your family. It's affecting you. You're letting go of at least negative energy, if not relations in that area. Things like that there. This can be divorce, because again, it's in this place. And all these cards, they're not necessarily the same cards. And I don't remember all the cards from the other reading, but I remember I saying like, you're married to something. It might not be a person, but you know, like you're married to something that you need to divorce. Something, someone, someplace, some kind of circumstance, situation. You know, it may not be a traditional marriage, as in two people coming together and, you know, being presided over by a minister of some sort, and they're, you know, legally connected. Not that. You are married to a situation from which you need to divorce yourself. So whatever that is, if it's friends, family, a job, it's affecting you. It's in the way. And it maybe has caused hurt, or there may be some hurt that comes along with it. Right? If you are married, even if your marriage is over and you're over it, that doesn't mean that, you know, there's not a mourning period for, you know, walking away from somebody with you, you know, with whom you've been and had a partnership at some point, or your child or the parent or whatever, saying goodbye to them. There's a mourning period. So that is another reason why this could be here too. The masculine from the Tony Carmine Salerno Universal Love Oracle. Dreams. First and foremost, it is about manifesting yours, right? This is, I'm getting Ace of Water feeling from this, like a brand new, emotionally fulfilling and stirring beginning. This is also about the communication though, both telepathically between the partners, and again, that listening to the universe, and maybe even being visited in your sleep by, you know, the universe in your dreams. Feminine. Boom. Sacred union. So another card, our second card of sacred marriage, and we also have the soulmate here. So despite like this, you know, there's some pain, a lot of love this week. Boom again to the masculine. Twin flame. So, like I just said. But yeah, there's some past life issues. So we got to work through them. But we were expecting this. I already did a reading throughout the rest of the year. We know how this ends, but we got to go through some stuff first. From the romance angels to the masculine. Boom again, because I was just talking about this. Healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. But it's not just your parents. It's any and everybody. Whomever you need to have the heart-to-heart conversation with. Whomever you have this codependent relationship with or upon, or they have it upon you. And your relationship with them is such that it impacts your relationships with others, including the divine feminine, and whether or not you go on in your life, or at least in a particular direction. Anybody that's affecting you that way, you have to heal the relationship. There's two ways you can do that. As far as I'm concerned, you can heal it by repairing it, or you can walk away. In either case, this may happen. and then you will get over it, right? Take time to heal. There's a need to forgive yourself and others. That's what's really important here. Feminine, calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. So what's that? Card number 5, calling in your soulmate. Soulmate, sacred union, moon tree, twin flame. So this little lowly 3, as much as I hate when it shows up, particularly in a love reading, can't get us down, and certainly can't, keep us down if we feel we're stumbling. To the masculine. This should have been expected, am I right? It came up all through the karmic readings. The 9 of Earth. Enjoying life's little luxuries. Spending quiet time alone. Maybe even successful self-employment. As it relates to romance specifically, this card represents like being single for me. Like maybe he has already broken away from some of these situations, whether they were romantic or, again, some kind of roommate situation, a friend that's been a thorn in the side or whatever, like broken away from those people, and he's sort of on his own and filling that void and that space with his own company, liking himself, loving himself, right? Enjoying being with him. And lastly, for the feminine, dreams coming true. It's the Star with Archangel Jophiel. Happy times make positive, optimistic. Long-term plans. You are on the right path. Remember what path that was? The golden path toward healing, right? An Archangel Raphael. Star represents the planet Uranus for me in the sign of Aquarius or other air signs. Libra, Gemini, or anybody taking on these traits or attributes, and is very much so about our dreams coming true, our prayers being answered, our wishes being granted. I hope that you guys enjoy the weekly love reading. I'll be back with the moon reading. Namaste, angels.